again, everyone. I'm Paul the Nitro Scarvis, and welcome to this edition of the Nitro Corner, and happy 4th of July weekend. Today is Sunday, and it is time for the classic match of the week. And to celebrate the Independence Day, I have 4 classic matches for you. Now, some of them are in parts, because today's theme for the Independence Day is independence, but in a bad way, because I'm going to talk about betrayal. Betraying your own partner, betraying your own friend. This is the theme of this week's classic match of the week. The first betrayal happened in January of 1986 as the dynamic duo squared off one-on-one as gentleman Chris Adams met gorgeous Gino Hernandez. Now, previously, the month beforehand, Gino Hernandez attacked gentleman Chris Adams and blamed him for losing the American Tag Team titles to Kevin and Kerry Von Erich on Christmas night. Well, Chris Adams got sick of it, and Gino Hernandez turned his back on him, so they had a match in January of '86 in Fort Worth, Texas, and that match became known as the night gentleman Chris Adams became blinded by Gino Hernandez. Unfortunately, this feud never got off the ground because a few weeks later, after this match was done, Gino Hernandez died of a drug overdose at the age of 29 years old. So the first classic match of the week, Fort Worth, Texas, January of '86, as Gino Hernandez takes on gentleman Chris Adams. Next one is a two-parter. We take you back to Christmas night, 1978, a 2-ring battle royal, as number 1 Paul Jones turns his back on his tag team partner, Rick Steamboat. Why? Because Paul Jones is number 1. And he always believed in his mind, his ego. He knew he was number 1. And you could see it throughout his promo with David Crockett and Bob Caudle, why he is number 1. Excuse me. And why he turned on Rick Steamboat. Oh, by the way, that first match with Adams versus Hernandez, courtesy of the Rayla 840 channel. Paul Jones turning on Rick Steamboat, courtesy of the Midnight and Express channel. Next up comes from the DC Matty channel. It happened in May of 1984 on Worldwide Wrestling, a confrontation between Nature Boy Ric Flair, excuse me, Nature Boy Ric Flair, the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion at the time, and his former friend, Chief Wahoo McDanile. Wahoo McDanile stood there, and watched Tully Blanchard sucker punch Ric Flair and tore the clothes off of him. This made Wahoo McDanile a heel in the Mid-Atlantic territory around this time. So that is the third betrayal. The fourth betrayal, courtesy of excuse me, courtesy of Solely Wrestling 2 channel, happened in October of '83 in Tampa, Florida, as Dusty Rhodes took on Harley Race for the NWA World Heavyweight title with Dusty's supposedly good friend, the Cowboy, Ron Bass, as the special guest referee. Well, Ron Bass got a case of jealous, as he was jealous of Dusty Rhodes getting the NWA World Heavyweight title shot, and not Bass, who was at that point the Southern Heavyweight Champion. Excuse me there. So that one is a 4-parter as Ron Bass turns on the American Dream. Now watch part 4 at the end. Now watch all the parts, but watch part 4 at the end. The confrontation in the Championship Wrestling for Florida studios between Dusty Rhodes and Ron Bass, and the intensity that Dusty brought to this promo near the end. Well, that is it for this edition of the Nitro Corners Classic Match of the Week. I'll be back tomorrow for the Nitro Opinion. Until then, I'm Paul the Nitro Scarver saying happy 4th of July, everybody, and I'll see you next time. So long, everybody.